Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show, and today we're going to be talking about what my favorite variety of maca is, because it pretty much has the strongest health benefits out of them all. And there are many different colors of maca out there, but the three most prevalent are red maca, which is also sometimes called pink or purple maca, and then yellow maca, which is sometimes called white maca also, and then there's black maca, which is sometimes called gray maca. But the three main colors are, they're all just different shades of either black, red, or yellow. All three macas grow together in the same crop, and when you harvest a crop, you get different percentages of each color. And the most rare of them all is black maca, and it usually is about 6-7% of the entire crop. Yellow, which is the most popular on the market today, is probably around 80 to 85%, while red is around 10% or so. Black maca is around 6% of the entire crop and is rare and is absolutely a true gem. And when you look all across the internet, it states on many websites that black maca has the strongest health benefits over all of them. And I completely agree with this because I've done a lot of studying through so many clinical trials, and we're going to talk about the main benefits of black maca. What's the difference between consuming any of these different colors of maca? Well, each different color of maca has different chemical compounds, which has been shown in clinical studies to show benefits when you want to target certain areas of health. For example, we're going to be talking about black maca today, and in clinical studies it shows that it has the potential to improve memory and learning. It has been shown to have the potential to increase daily sperm count and improve sperm motility, which is the ability of the sperm to get actually closer to the egg. Additionally, it has been shown to reduce glucose levels, and finally, it has been shown to strengthen bones through different aspects that I'm going to share with you today. Red maca, for example, has been shown to have the potential to reduce the size of prostate, and yellow maca has a bunch of different clinical studies that have been done on it. And I've stumbled across 6 different clinical studies that shows yellow maca has the potential to balance the hormone system. Now, when you look at a lot of the black maca studies, it actually compares red and yellow with it. And it usually says black maca is usually more powerful than the others for the different aspects it's being tested for. But black maca has never been tested for balancing hormones. So it's kind of like, I wonder, would it be better? I don't know. So first, I wanted to show you a few clinical studies about how black maca has the potential to help with memory and learning. And I feel that improving our brain capacity and having more focus and concentration and understanding, things like this, is one of the most invaluable things you can possibly imagine. Before I get into these clinical studies, a lot of these clinical studies are done on laboratory animals such as mice and stuff like that. Some of them also are done on humans, like the balancing the hormones that I was telling you about a little bit ago. I just want everyone to know I don't condone this, any of this information or the testing on animals or anything like that. But I do find this information useful since it's already out there. So let's take a look at how black maca has the potential to help with our memory and learning capabilities. In this clinical study here, the study aimed to elucidate the effect of yellow, red, and black maca on cognitive function and depression in ovariorectomized mice. We'll call that OVX mice. Black maca was the variety that showed the best response in the water finding task, particularly in trained mice. Black maca appeared to have more beneficial effects on latent learning in OVX mice. Meanwhile, all varieties of maca showed antidepressant activity. Here's one of the examples where black maca showed more benefits compared to red or yellow maca. Let's take a look at another clinical study. Black maca improved experimental memory impairment induced by ovarectomy. Let's check out another clinical study. Mice treated with ETOH, also known as ethanol, which is an alcohol, took more time to find the hidden platform. Well, that's just because when you drink alcohol, you get completely drunk. Than control during escape acquisition trials. Meanwhile, black maca reversed the effect of the ethanol. Black maca ameliorated the deleterious effect of ethanol during the probe trial. Finally, black maca improved experimental memory impairment induced by ethanol in a dose-response manner due in part to its content of polyphenolic compounds. You guys, this doesn't mean go partying with your friends and drinking lots of alcohol and then consuming black maca afterwards to counteract the effects. Let's go check out another clinical study. Both extracts of black maca significantly ameliorated the scopolamine-induced memory impairment as measured in both the Water-Morris maze and the step-down avoidance tests. The results indicate that black maca improves scopolamine-induced memory deficits. So these are just a couple clinical studies that show that black maca has the potential to help with our memory and learning. Now let's check out how black maca can be very powerful and has the potential to help with increase our daily sperm count and the sperm motility, which is the ability of the sperm to get to the egg. Let's check it out. The hypocotyls, which is the maca root, have different colors. Of these, black maca has better effects on spermatogenesis. In conclusion, black maca affects sperm count as early as 1 day after beginning of treatment. Now, there are a ridiculous amount of clinical studies that show that yellow maca increases daily sperm count. And this clinical study shows that black maca does it more effectively. Let's look at some more. In conclusion, yellow and black maca increased epididymal sperm count after 84 days of treatment without affecting daily sperm production. Maca seems to act as a modulator of sperm count at the reproductive tract level. Here's another one. The greatest effect on spermatogenesis was observed in the ethyl acetate fraction from the hydroalcoholic extract of black maca, suggesting that the compounds related to the beneficial effect on sperm production of black maca are presented in this fraction. Now, all the clinical studies that we've shown so far and the ones we're about to show you, an extract of maca has been used, or some sort of form of cooked maca or gelatinized maca. We at the Raw Food World are one of the only companies out there that offers yellow, red, and black maca, both in their raw state and in their gelatinized form, and we'll get into this a little bit more. Let's take a look at a clinical study that shows black maca has the potential to reduce glucose levels. Black maca, Yacon, and the mixture of extracts reduced glucose levels in diabetic mice, increased daily sperm production. The combination of two extracts improved glycemic levels and male reproductive function in diabetic mice. These effects could be reduced with black maca, Yacon, and black maca plus Yacon mixture together. So this clinical study is showing that black maca and Yacon have the potential to reduce our glucose levels. So it can be done by each of these individually, or they even work really good together. So the last thing I want to talk about is maca for bone density. And this is pretty big. I feel that maca is one of the best superfoods, foods in the world to help with bone density. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but maca, all the forms of maca, are loaded with calcium. Furthermore, as shown in many clinical studies, the maca has the potential to balance our hormone system, which can actually increase estrogen, which plays a vital role in having good bone density. Here are a bunch of clinical studies that show that maca has the potential to do this. And we're going to see different things, how yellow maca works, and then we see how black and red maca work, and we can kind of come to a conclusion of which maca to use for bone density as we check this out. Let's take a look. Black, yellow, or red maca. Black and red maca treatments reverse the effect of ovurectomy by increasing the trabecular bone area in the second lumbar vertebrae. Red and black maca have protective effects on bone architecture in OVX rats. So in this clinical study, it is showing that red and black maca are more beneficial for protecting certain bone architecture compared to yellow maca in OVX mice. Okay, so let's check out this next clinical study. Maca Geo, which is gelatinized maca, noticeably increased bone density markers. Now, this is one of the clinical studies that shows that it has the potential to balance the hormone system, and this is yellow maca that's doing that. So it seems that yellow maca can also be beneficial in this aspect of bone density. Let's check out the next one. The bone mineral density of the group treated with maca increased significantly compared with that in OVX group. Treatment with Maca significantly increased calcium content of femur compared with OVX group. In conclusion, our study showed that Maca improved the bone mass, restored trabecular network in lumbar vertebrae in OVX rat. This finding suggests that Maca is potentially useful for postmenopausal osteoporosis, which occurs in women as a result of estrogen deficiency. If it were me and I was trying to choose what color of Maca to use for bone mineral density, I would actually choose two of them and then switch them up. I would choose black Maca because it's shown to have the strongest benefits of all, and it is shown here that it has protective benefits on bone architecture in OVX mice. And also, I would get yellow gelatinized Maca. I would get black gelatinized Maca and yellow gelatinized Maca. The yellow has the potential to balance hormones, and our yellow Maca is actually a mixture of all three colors, exactly how they're grown. So it's about 80% yellow Maca, 6% or 6 to 10% black Maca, and 10 to 14% red Maca. So you're getting the benefits of all worlds. And there's one other product that I highly recommend for bone density, which can have a synergistic effect with these two Maca products. And this is Yacon Syrup. If you go to the Dr. Oz website, it says Yacon consumption also appears to increase absorption of dietary minerals and may make calcium more bioavailable. So if you're using Maca with Yacon Syrup, you can see how these two can have a synergistic effect, and we'll even take it one step further. Check out this clinical study on Yacon. The purpose of this study was to evaluate the effect of Yacon flower and probiotic on the modulation of variables related to bone health. An increase in fracture strength was observed in the Yacon. Yacon flower, in combination with this probiotic, helped increase the concentration of minerals in bones, an important factor in the prevention of disease such as osteoporosis. So the top three superfoods, in my opinion, for bone density are black gelatinized Maca, yellow gelatinized Maca, and Yacon syrup. I guess the big question is, why do I choose gelatinized versus raw Maca to help with bone density? I guess the first question is, what is gelatinized Maca? Gelatinized Maca is when you take raw Maca and you put it through a special process. It's like a pressurized system to where it heats up the Maca, so it's not raw anymore, but it removes all the starches and opens all the cell membranes, releasing all sorts of chemical compounds and nutrition. So what happens is, when you gelatinize the Maca, it actually does destroy the enzymes and some of the glucosinolates, which have actually been said on Wikipedia and many other areas to be toxic to the human being. However, the secondary metabolites of the Maca are not damaged at all when you gelatinize the Maca. In fact, it actually makes them more bioavailable. And the secondary metabolites are the chemical compounds that are the key components that give the benefits that all these clinical studies show, and the secondary metabolites are what we're going for. So when you gelatinize it, not only are you taking all the starch out, you're getting more of the secondary metabolites. Furthermore, they become more bioavailable. Me personally, I'm a negative blood type, and I have digestive issues with starch, so whenever I take raw Maca, I kind of get gas and I don't feel well, and gelatinized Maca doesn't do that to me at all, and I absolutely love it. It has no fiber in there, no starch whatsoever. So depending on what you are trying to accomplish will determine if you want to use raw Maca or gelatinized Maca. If you're looking to target certain areas, as shown in all these clinical studies, then we definitely want to go with gelatinized Maca because it has more secondary metabolites and they're more bioavailable. We at the Raw Food World have the highest quality Maca on the planet. As you can see in our videos, where it's taken from 13,000 foot elevation, there's no fillers. It's the highest quality. You actually feel the difference. We now have yellow Maca, red Maca, black Maca in both their raw state and gelatinized state. And I personally feel that black gelatinized Maca is the most powerful Maca on the planet. It is just more dense than the regular black Maca, which is also powerful. And I also really like the raw product too, which can be used for many different things also, which we'll talk about in different videos in the future. So we've got black Maca, has the potential to increase daily sperm count and increase sperm motility. It has the potential to help improve learning and memory, has the potential to help bone density and lower glucose levels. And I'm sure it has many other benefits which it hasn't been tested for yet. And this is Matt Monarch bringing you the best, highest quality superfoods in the world, and we'll see you next time at the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining the raw food world.